I'm here on the results floor with Solly Malatsi, who's the National Spokesperson for the DA. Solly, tell us a bit about how the DA is feeling. Is it a bullish mood?
Not a bullish mood. We are gracious. We are very, very gracious, but very happy about where we are. We come from a very difficult past. 5 years ago in this place, it wasn't a happy time for the DA. And now we are in a much better space. We are seeing positive growth. The size of that growth will have a definitive picture once we get to 80%, but we are anticipating that we are going to see growth across 6 provinces because the early indications from our tracking is that we've been able to achieve 3 things in this election. One is to retain the majority of our Muslim vote, and that is very key, particularly with the whole focus that was being placed on the Middle East issue, particularly in Cape Town. But we are also seeing growth amongst Indian voters and also amongst black voters. So in areas such as Soweto, the early indications of our tracking is that we are doing very well amongst black voters.
2019, you guys ended up on around 20%. This election, the smart money's on 23% perhaps. Is that sufficient growth given the precipitous decline of the ANC?
Well, I think any growth for the DA in this election was going to be positive growth, right? And it's something that internally we would celebrate because we know what the lack of growth would have done for us, And secondly is if the growth is more than percentage growth, that is even more cause for celebration because it shows that there is potential to be on an even more higher growth path. And I think the key thing with this election was, one, we needed to reverse the reversal, if I can use that tautology, in the fact that any party that goes through 2 consecutive periods of decline gets written off, And what we have been able to showcase with this performance show that we are still a very formidable player in the South African political landscape. And the other thing, Rebecca, that I think for us we would embrace that growth is there are new parties into the space. And these parties were projected to be potentially coming to eat away at our votes. 3 parties, Rise, Action SA, and BOSA. And even with them in the landscape, we are showing that positive growth. It means that we've been resilient enough even to resist the advances those parties may have made. I mean, the MK has basically just flipped the script on this election. And I think and credit to them for whatever campaign that they ran that has been able to get them where they are. For us, I think what was important was if we kept focused on our electoral offer and on getting out each and every DA voter, it was always be possible for us to be in here. And yes, while the entrance of the MK has played a key role in reducing the ANC to under 50%, we have been steady on that path. And also, even our growth is a contributory factor to that. And I think, what it showcases to everyone in the political landscape is that the entrance of the MK has obviously expedited the path towards reducing the ANC to under 50%. That is one thing. But I think the resilience of other opposition parties that have been in this space for long have created an enabling environment for the ANC to be under 50%.
Final question, and I think it's the one on many DA voters' lips. Will the DA enter a coalition with the ANC?
We are having a federal executive meeting on Sunday, and in between the announcement of the official results and the next few days, the multi-party charter leaders will have to convene and have a meeting regarding how we have collectively and individually fared. And that conversation will guide how each of the parties proceed going forward. Because remember, the multi-party charter was a pre-election pact. What I can also say without any contradictions that at this stage in the DA, there hasn't been any exploration of an option with the ANC. So FedEx will have to guide the party in terms of the direction that we take. But right now, our focus is up until election day, our faithfulness to the multi-party charter remains intact, and once we cross that bridge of the official announcement of the results, we will also be guided by what the federal executive says to the party in terms of proceeding forward, and also what is the approach that the multi-party charter is going to take in terms of the pre-election pact vis-a-vis what the outcome of the results are saying.